Alright, my friends, what's going on? I was just munching on some snackage before we begin. So, yes, I'm excited for this. This is going to be, of course, as I've explained to some of you and anybody that's on my Discord, of course, exclamation point Discord. We do have a, CK coming right up in there with the 5 biddies. For the record, everybody, if CK is still going according to plan, the Crimson Knight, which is what CK stands for, is going to be coming to visit me. Now, it's true. I mean, at this point, my wife is, we are very far along in the pregnancy right now, me and my wife, and so CK coming here does pose the risk, of course, if we went into kind of early. If the kid came early, that would be the only risk, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, we're still holding out. October 9th is the due date for the little baby. But yeah, CK may come a day early, and I'm ready for him. So CK, if you want to come here, come on down. He's going to come to Texas, and we'll probably stream together. So hopefully you guys like some other content. He doesn't really play Pokemon, so I mean yeah, Addisik says is the snackage as messed up as your Saturday snack time, because we did do the pinball stream earlier where you guys saw me eat some nasty stuff. I put a lot of it in highlights and still have some to highlight after that. But anyway, yes, so what we're gonna do right now for the first half of today's stream is we're going to actually be looking at some old nostalgia. I call it nostalgic stuff. And so, oh gosh, this is even heavier than I remember. So we've got this big box right here, and it says Poke on it. Obviously it's Pokemon. But this came from basically at my, Demon's Play's done listening to music. Nice, I thought he was going to be basically lurking the whole time, but yes, I do have this box, so I am going to be kind of looking down at the screen and then back up at the webcam to you guys, so I may need to kind of, it's going to be, I've never done this before. It's kind of more IRL style right now, so just bear with me as we kind of show you what's in this box. Should probably take about 20 or 30 minutes, depending on how much we talk about each of the things. But a good way to start it off, actually, was, Addisik says, I'm excited to see what you have in there. A good way to start is, of course, checking out this VHS right here. We did do a reaction stream of this, so if you recall, what was this? Earlier on in, last month, I guess, we reacted to it. So this was basically where Nintendo Power, if you were subscribed to that, Nintendo had sent out a lot of VHSs. That's kind of like their thing back in the days. That was like the epic Nintendo marketing. But here's this one. So Pokemon, gotta watch this now. And we saw it. It's kind of just a crash course introduction to Pokemon before it had come out in the United States or North America territories specifically. So hopefully you guys remember that. It was fun. I think I do have the highlight of all of that on my channel when we reacted to that, so you can see on the Twitch channel if you did ever miss that. Now, I do want to note that some of this is in great shape, like pristine. Most of this is in mint condition stuff, but there is a few that, I owned as a kid, and so you'll see this right here, it's all cut up. And it's not even in its original packaging, I guess you could say, but I guess we'll go on to this first just because it's probably one of the more, the least exciting parts of it or whatever, and then all the rest of the stuff I think is pretty epic. But this right here was a Pokemon Snap insert that went in GamePro of August 1999. Demon's Play is going to go back to lurking, alright. So anyway, you can see that, again, this is the stuff that I cut up. I used to make Pogs, so if you know milk caps or Pogs, I used to make Pogs out of this kind of stuff, so I could make my own custom Pogs, and I actually ended up cutting up these magazines. I usually didn't cut up anything too special or whatnot, this was just a GamePro magazine or whatever, but I suppose the interesting thing is just that this was sort of a way to learn some of the secrets of Pokemon Snap, so, yes, CK's like, where's the Bit Boss? I want to see the damage to the Bit Boss. Also, this stuff is BAAF, I guess that's badass as F. And CK, the Bit Boss will be back up on the, I can see if the damage happened yet, but when we go to this layout, yes it did. So you just can't see the damage that you're doing, but right now when we go to this layout, you'll see it. But anyway, I do have actually more of high quality, what's the word, imagery, I guess, to show you for these types of things. So occasionally I'll be switching, like turning on an image. So that might take just a hot moment here while I pull that up. Nostalgia stream is what I called it. There we go. So this is the, I called it Snap Game Pro, but basically, oh God, they made it huge. Why is this image so big? But anyway, this is kind of a good look at it right here from the front. And so this taught you all of the Pokemon Snap type things. CK says, fine by me. I'll do sneaky damage to Jomo Do. Yeah, dude, that's cool. Whatever you gotta do, man. But again, this is kind of gonna teach you. Thank you, CK, for the biddies, man. You rock, dude. It would teach you the specific, I guess, like secrets and things for Pokemon Snap. So in essence, you know, you can look at this and see the kinds of pictures like, oh, if you throw an apple and get Pikachu on that surfboard, well, he'll actually get up on that surfboard and you can get more points. And so that's kind of what this little magazine insert was about. So let me show you actually another picture right here. We can go Snap Game Pro. There it is. So that's kind of just again, this is huge. Jeez. This is just a general look at it. But like there's the Pikachu surfing, you know, so it's those kinds of things that were in here. Kind of basic stuff like what the Pokemon food does and blah blah blah. And a little Snorlax down there. Pretty cool, eh? So, again, it gets much more exciting from here. That's kind of the more dull stuff, but here's another piece of it, or whatever, that I had torn out as a little young kendo in, like, 6th grade. You know, I took all this out. I guess this was, like, 7th or 8th grade, probably. Probably not anything else that needs to be of note there. What we'll look at next, I kind of want to save some things for last, so I'm going to be poking around in here. I actually still have the box for this. So if you recall, of course, there's the trading card game, but then there's also the trading card game. And so for the Game Boy Color, you could actually see that I still have the box in pretty good condition right here. As far as what's inside, I actually do not have the game inside. I don't know where that game is right now. So that's still, there are still some things that need to be found that I know are around. It's just my dad's house is a mess. And yes, Addisic is like, I was addicted to that game. But yes, my dad's house right now, whether it's my old room or otherwise, my dad's house is quite a mess. So we'll look at these magazines and stuff kind of at the end. But here's the next stuff. This might be the bulk of a lot of things that I have, but Pokemon trading card game, of course. I've got a lot of this good old stuff right here. So these are the little rule booklets that came with the first wave of the Pokemon game, card game, I should say. But what's interesting is that you can see, I don't know if you guys remember this, if anybody remembers how to play the card game, those are the positions for, like, you know, if your Pokemon is asleep or paralyzed or confused, you can see that they actually, you would move the card positions, you know, up, down, left, right, or whatever. I also thought this is kind of funny because this is like a little business reply mail thing here, a little insert that you can fill out and everything like that. It's, you know, where did you purchase the Pokemon trading card game? It's basically surveys akin to what we get in emails now. So obviously this is old technology, right? But I always wondered what would happen if I mailed one of these inserts to them nowadays. I mean, first of all, their office could be in a completely different place, but well, I don't know. They could still be in Renton, Washington. I'm not sure. I figured they were on the West Coast somewhere, but so that it still could be over there. But I was always like, what would happen if I sent these now? Yeah. And so other than that, this just kind of has the pre-made decks. I actually have a box for one of these. Like this one's called Brush Fire. So if you played the Pokemon card game and you weren't very good at making a deck yourself, you could actually get these kind of pre-made boxes. And even if you were good at making a deck, it was kind of nice to have these pre-made boxes because, you know, you'd pay a certain price and just get a ton of new cards in it. So, yeah, pretty neato. But I do have 2 of these little booklets still, and they're in pretty damn good shape, I would say. So that brings me to, I'm going to have to set some of this stuff down. Oh, yeah. This big binder right here. By no means is this all of my cards, but I believe I got this binder around the time of Jungle coming out. So if you recall that they had like Fossil, Jungle, Original, and all that for the card series for Pokemon trading cards. Well, this was... Here, let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you guys. But yeah, this was a lot of the Jungle, and a lot of these are first edition cards right here. So they are in really good shape. I know you guys can't see that. I'm gonna have to possibly take the camera down. I think I'll take them down for the holographics and show you guys that, but I also took an image so you can see a high quality image. But a lot of these are first edition right here, which is, you know, if you didn't know, those are some epic cards. Like first edition is more rare, and you can fetch a higher price if you were going to be selling them. But this was actually quite an exorbitant amount of organization for somebody like me. I am not an organized person for the most part. I'm not terribly like filthy or anything, but I typically don't organize things, and so this, to me, I'm impressed by this. But again, this is all Jungle, and I think I got a lot of Jungle because my parents, like, I think I had a birthday or Christmas or something around the time that Jungle was still new, and they had Butterfree with the Jungle, so it was like, oh man, I got a lot of Jungle. And I even organized it by like water, normal, like fire, electric. Okay, so here's the holographs. So here I can show you guys an actual image, probably much better quality, and by probably I mean it is. So let me get you cards. Here we go. Again, these are huge pictures. Gosh, I did not realize that they were so big. But here we go. So I've got a ton of these, just holographics right here. And again, this is not my whole card collection. That would take a long time. We could have an entire separate stream if you guys wanted to see my card collection. So these are just some of them that are in this binder right here. But yeah, we got lots of these holographs. So there was those right there. And I'll go to the next image. Over. Here we go. So yeah. You can see all that first edition goodness. Am I right? Am I right? So I'd love to know in the chat how many of you guys were collectors of these cards and stuff. Again, if I can take this down, I'll show you. Here. So this box, again, I don't want to reveal everything too soon. But all these bags in here, all those Ziploc bags and stuff, those are a bunch of my cards. So it's like... Seriously, I had a deck of every type. I had, you know, just cards out the wazoo up in here. Collected them for a long while. But here's something that's would be fun to show you guys. Here, let's see if I can put it all down here. So, of course, we've got the coin, the Chancy Coin. I'm gonna... 1 second here. You guys are getting a weird angle. So I've got all these damage counters, and if you recall, the Pokemon card game, they didn't have, like, a clear... damage counter right there. So that clear thing is made up by me. And so I used to kind of invent my own colors. Okay, Addisic is like, I've always loved Pidgeot's art. That Pidgeot art right there. So you guys can see all these kind of damage counters, like even a red one right here. So it's like, the point is, I kind of created my own damage counters by finding stuff. God, there's so much dog hair already. My entire apartment is filled with dog hair. This is all stuff that's like in pristine condition, and I'm getting it all dog hairified. But yes, they did have a Vileplume coin once Jungle came out, but a Chancy coin for the original. So look at that stuff. Isn't this epic? I don't know, it's epic to me. I have no idea what you guys are thinking right now. You're probably like, boring. But yeah, I used to make my own damage applied to the damage counter. So like, I think the white was 30 because you'd use the little blue ones for 10 right here. And then, oh, thank you so much for the biddies. That's from Crimson Knight. Again, cheering hardcore. I appreciate that, my friend. And yellow was 20 damage. But then they had like green and I think a lighter blue to do different damages and stuff too for Jungle. So, of course they came out with Fossil later. Excuse me, everybody. And once Fossil came out, I don't think they came up with any new damage counters or anything, but it was pretty cool. So, I want to show you guys this, though. This is really cool to me. Just I think it's kind of like probably a lot of people had it, but I don't know for sure, so I'm going to have to ask you guys. But this thing basically folds out to what you're about to see right about here. There we go. So let me turn that back on. Okay, so this basically makes a battlefield kind of area for your Pokemon card game. So it did come from Nintendo Power, as you can see right there. Basically, it has a slot for your bench and your actives and all that good stuff, but you can tell mine's in still like really good condition. You know what I mean? It's supposed to have these folds or whatever, so it folds up, but I don't know. To me, it's I think it's really neat that. So did any of you guys have this by any chance? But I don't know. It's just one of those fun little things I'm glad I hung on to. So you can see though I've got the pre-made deck boxes here as well. We got Brush Fire and whatever this one is, Power something. It's Power Reserve. So let's see. I've also got a booster pack baggie. It's not filled with anything. This is empty right now. Oh God. Okay. So here's this. This will be interesting. A little bit. Ugh. I don't know if you guys recall this. This is the Pokemon Trainer's Guide. So this came from, of course, the original Game Boy games. And so this actually is not in great shape, as you can see right now. But just kind of some fun nostalgia maybe for you if you had, this is, the pages on the inside are in good shape or whatever. But here's your Pokemon gym leaders, for example. All sorts of fun stuff. Look at these old school Pokemon illustrations. You know, the Pokemon looked a little bit different. Not too much, but I mean, the way that they drew them and stuff was a little bit different. So let's see here. I don't know what that part is for. They put a thing that says Pokemon List, and they revealed some of them. So you can see that there's lots of blanks and whatnot. So as you keep turning the pages, they have blank spots for them. So I don't know what that's about. But they revealed some of them, left some of them. And then I just have a whole bunch of baggies in here for the Pokemon cards as well. Again, these are all empty bags, but the Rocket cards. We have a Magic the Gathering somehow in there. I did not play Magic at all. I had friends who played Magic, and so eventually I somehow ended up procuring a few of the cards, but again, I did not play. So you can see that these jungles right here actually have a first edition on them. I think you can see that on the Pokeball down there. It says first edition. So pretty neat, pretty neat. There's a fossil right here, it looks like. So there's a fossil pack and the original boosters. Again, these are all empty. I wish that they were full so we could open them on stream. That would be amazing. Okay. But anyway, got a whole bunch of card sleeves in here that you probably don't need to see. This is kind of interesting. I regret to inform you guys, there's a bad story with these. But anyway, I've got these little, they look like Pogs, but they are some battle discs. So I've got Rattata and I've got Wartortle, as you just saw. These, again, the story is sad. Unfortunately, I actually tried to not sell, I was going to say sell, but I tried to give for free a bunch of stuff to Steph of Anime in the mail. And like an idiot, I did not include her street address, so I just put the city and the state. I don't know what I was thinking. And then, to top it all off, I didn't put a home return address on the thing. I forget what was happening that day. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. Something was going on in my head that day. It was like a bad day, but it was just awful that I did that. And so it's lost in the mail totally. I tried to call them in Atlanta, Georgia or whatever for the USPS and was like, hey, I gotta have this package back, because it was a ton of those discs, and it was also a ton of Pokemon figures. Like I've got a little Charizard up there. If you guys want to see that, you probably can see it kind of from far away right there. But that Charizard and stuff was the only one I believe I kept. I think I have a Charmander somewhere too. So yeah, rip me, I'm an idiot. Completely lost that stuff in the mail. Adisic is saying, I think one of Oak's memos from the game booklet told you to use a Master Ball on Fearow. I'm gonna have to check that, dude. If that's the case, that would be hilarious. So I don't know what these came from. I really don't recall where these were from, but these are some cards that I just found in this box right here, and so I've got some pretty good ones, eh? We got all these guys. So, yeah, that's what it looks like on the back for you right there. It says trademark of 1998. I wonder if those came from... To be honest, I don't know. They have a number on them each for the Pokédex number, it looks like, but yeah, I couldn't say. Okay. What do we go with next? Well, here's some Monster Enter stuff. Adasic, I feel that you'd be the only one I could invite to this stream or whatever, but I do have Monster Enter cards. I've got a ton of Monster Enter things too, so maybe for another stream, that's just me and Adasic, I bet. Unless some other people around there like Monster Enter. But it seems to have snuck its way on by in here. This is kind of interesting. I don't know why this is in here, what it really is for, but again, this is another one of those things that you could fill out. Okay, I think it's an insert from Nintendo Power because it says, "Give me the power," and you could sign in like, yes, I want 12 issues of Nintendo Power, and you can see the price on that. It's $20 in the US, and 24 issues of Nintendo Power would run you for almost $40 right there, and you can see Canadian monies in there as well. Adasic is like, private stream hype. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, you check there if you're renewing your subscription a whole year for $19.95. But yeah, they just have some interesting stuff. Okay. So these, I really think that these are really neat. I wish that I had a lot more of these Topps trading cards. So these are not like the Pokemon card game. But these are the Topps cards. So instead of pulling these all out, these are in such great condition. I will prove that I have them. They're all right there. But I will show you an image of these because they were in such good condition that they were like almost sticking together when I pulled them out. So of course you guys saw the little booster pack looks like that right here. There we go. Thought I was pulling that up for you guys. So it looks kind of like this. You can see that. So let's show you what was in some of these. Topps trading cards. TOPPS, everybody. So we've got a lineup of, we had one holographic in there, which was the general Pokemon Gotta Catch 'em All card that you see there on the left side. But then we had the Bulbasaur, the Eradicate, Spearow, like that. Kinda neat, I hope, maybe. Okay. So then we'll go with this one. So there's some of the others. Adasic is saying, yo, I had a ton of those. Well, Adasic, I would easily take them off your hands if you didn't want them, but I'm sure you do. Or if you still can find them or whatever. But yes, I wish that I had a lot more of those. I think they're so neat. They just look cool, pretty, whatever. So I'll move that picture in 1 second. I just got to prepare my next thing for you guys. We're about to get to the more, in my opinion, exciting stuff here. Some of the most exciting of the stuff, I think. Let me move this box. I'll pick it back up in a second. Oy. Alright, so this, before we get to the last kind of exciting thing, I remember I had a good box like this, and there's also one down in there for Jungle that I had. These boxes I used to fill with my cards and whatnot, and right now all that's in there is a bunch of Digimon cards. So Adasic, that private stream, could also have a lot of my Digimon card collection, which I did have as well. So yes, that was pretty neat. But here's something that I feel is just the most epic. This is like a great snapshot in time. So this is all, yeah, Adasic is like, Digimon cards hype. So this, again, being a snapshot in time, is kind of the aptly named because we have our Pokemon Snap card right here. I did show this off on my Discord a while back. Here, we'll go with the Snap card in the box right there just to show you guys what that looks like up close. Better condition, maybe. Or, I mean, that's in bad condition, but the photo is better looking right there. So, not only do I have this card still great condition, there's no scuffs or anything like that. You can see Blockbuster Video, Kids WB, and all of that. The good stuff. Well, I do have the Pokemon sticker album right here. So this is pretty neat. I've got this also blown up for you guys, so I can show you some pictures of this. Boom and kaboom. Alright, giant-ass Pikachu. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like from the front, as you guys could tell right now. But then I'll show you one of the pages inside here. Snap sticker album. Kaboom! So this was kind of neat. I mean, this is telling you how to use the Pokemon Snap station to print your stuff. And so it's like, it's really interesting to me because this, it's like, to think about, oh yeah, Madison is like, Pikachu is skinny now. Blockbuster is defunct and Kids WV doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, Pikachu back in the Gen 1 days used to be fat too in the games. But what I was going to say about this is that like technology seems like this is good technology back then, right? You know what I mean? Like we had a little Blockbuster kiosk like that you can see kind of on the left page right there. You would basically, put in that card that I showed you with the Charmander on it that says Pokemon Snap. You would put that card into the slot where the number 1 is, and then you would put in your actual game of Pokemon Snap. Now, if you didn't have the game or you didn't have pictures you wanted to print, you could actually use their cartridge. They had a cartridge in there for you to play as well. So even if you don't have the game, you can play Pokemon Snap there and take some pictures and then print them out. You would use the controller then that's attached to the kiosk. You can see down there, it's kind of above Pikachu's head. You can see that that controller is attached to the kiosk so you can't run away with it, but you would use that to basically select within your Pokemon Snap gallery and just press A on the pictures you wanted or whatever, and then you just kind of wait and they print them out. And so what I'll show you is this picture that I've got here. These Pokemon Snap stickers.
Did you feed the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's some that I printed out from my childhood. So this would have been again just in the mid, like I guess late 90s probably is to get the exact year. I don't know. I think it was 98, 99, something like that. But here we are. You know, I took those pictures of the Bulbasaur and the Meowth and the Butterfree, probably thinking they were good. I don't think that they, you know, are the best pictures or anything like that. Adisic is saying, I remember the kiosk at my Blockbuster would just randomly reset. That's what I was wondering, is I wonder how much, you know, malfunctioning did they have? Did they, like, how did they, I guess, have people using their cartridge and not stealing it or whatever? But here I'll show you guys, actually, this page in the booklet has some more of my stickers right there. I did take those pictures of, like, Mew and the dancing Meowth and the Bulbasaur on the side. Stuff like that. So those were some pictures that I did and printed out. Of course, the pictures on the very left with the Meowth and the Shelder really close up and the Pikachu and the Growlithe crew right there came from this. So they actually did send you this one to print out. This is basically like a pre-done set of pictures that they did for us or whatever. So if you wanted to print these out, I guess you could. So, yeah. Demon's Play says, whoa, Muck is rude. Yeah, he's throwing up the middle finger, everybody. But there was some more of those Pokemon Snap kind of directions of, you know, this is the steps, how to do it, and blah, blah, blah. But there you can see, bring it to your Blockbuster video, which doesn't exist anymore. But this is stuff that's all still in really good shape. And again, got my Snap card there. So to me, that was like, that was really cool. Just looking back on that, I had a lot of memories and all of that good stuff. Fun stuff. Okay, so let me remove some of this down here so that you guys can see everything better. I can see everything better. Oy, sorry everybody. Please give me one moment. Un momento, por favor. Oy. Okay. So this was, we're going to kind of look at some magazines right now, and these are not official Nintendo magazines at this point, but they reported on Pokemon a lot. And so there was one Pojo, I think it was, Pojo's Unofficial Pokemon magazine, if anybody recalls that. And so I've got these posters. There's kind of two sets for the posters right here. But this was when Gen 2 was coming out. And again, you won't be able to see this very well because of the screen kind of reflection and stuff like that. But you'll notice that the artwork, I'll show you it looking better right here. You'll see that the artwork for it is very strange compared to what we know now these Pokemon to look like. So here is this one, the first half of it or whatever. Or maybe it's, yeah, it's the first half that I've got. Image. Here we go. So, let me fold this up. There we go. Okay, so if you guys see that, you know, it's like they have all these Japanese names and whatnot, so obviously, you know, Pichu is still Pichu, but, like, right next to it, you can see the little, Clefairy baby. What's that one called again? God, I'm such an idiot. It's like Clefairy, Clefable, I forgot what the first one was. I know Igglybuff, but, anyway, they just called it P. Cleffa, that's what it was, it's Cleffa. But yeah, they just called it P, P-I-I, and so, Purin, I guess, is the Igglybuff right there. But then we've got another poster. Let's see, properties. Poster number 2, where is it? Here it is. Okay. So then you guys can also see right here some of your other favorites, hopefully. But like Steelix is in there. I don't know, some of these Pokemon, they're just colored differently. It's like you can see Stantler down there, kind of in the bottom right corner. Mario, don't you mean Pika-Blue? Yeah, Pika-Blue. We all thought it was going to be called Pika-Blue. But, yeah, you can see the Stantler kind of off towards that guy's hat a little bit on the right side. Like, that doesn't look like Stantler now. Like, I mean, it sort of does, but isn't that crazy? And especially look at Tyrogue down there kind of near Hitmontop on the left side, kind of at the bottom. Like, that Tyrogue doesn't even look like a thing that exists in Pokemon right now. Celebi, it looks like an idiot. Yeah, Celebi, congrats, you made a website. Yep. So, this stuff I'll show last, but I will show you. This is so random. I don't know if you guys will find this entertaining. I hope you do, but these are some printed pictures that I found on the internet, and I think at one time when I was a kid, I did think that they were, I thought that they were really cool. You know, I didn't think that this one was real, but I thought that some of them were real. I'm about to show you which ones, but yes, that's got Achu, which is funny because it's like sneezing, but Abra and Pikachu. Venusaur is like, pretty cool, my dude. Yeah, dude, unfortunately you missed a lot of the stuff. If you just showed up now, we're kind of getting near the end here. But then notice, of course, Drowsy Tongue puts enemies to sleep, then licks their dreams. So these are all just a bunch of, like, parodied things that I apparently found on the internet somewhere, and then I printed them out. Somebody even made Professor Oak as a Pokemon. Like, there's his stats. He's got Babble, Teach, Book Throw, and Faint. He can faint 1 out of 1. And so then we got Zwirtle. So it's like Zubat and Squirtle. Wigglychew. Of course, a Wigglytuff Pikachu, I'm guessing. Or is that... Yeah, it's Pikachu. We got Porygon. So like Dugong and Porygon. Right there. And of course, somebody was clever enough to think of little Pokédex descriptions of these idiotic creations. But then we got Jiggly Fairy, Voltron, which is funny because Voltron, but it's supposed to be Voltorb and Magnemite. But then they said when the Voltorbs and Magnemites form together, they become Voltron. So kind of like the real Voltron, they form together. But yes, here's Starlight, and what's weird about this one is it says transgender. It doesn't say transgender, it says transgender is the type of it. An enigmatic Pokemon that can cross-dress. So yeah, you see, some of these are incredibly foolish. We're almost through them, but here's one last one that I was looking at. So do you guys remember that episode with the Ghastly that, you know, it could speak, and it was like, I'll combine them together and make Venusaur. And so, like, you know, he took the Blastoise and Venusaur and put them in there. So somebody made that into a little, I don't know what, a Pokemon thing. So, yes. Interesting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys these magazines. And this is, it's going to be a little bit tough to show you everything, but this is probably the more exciting of them. This is Pojos Unofficial Pokemon magazine, which we were just looking at the posters for. This is Scry, and so notice I've cut out some of that because when I was a little kid, again, I used to make Pogs out of that stuff. Yeah, Addison is like, Venusaur. So yeah, we got Scry right here, but Scry, mainly the thing that you need to know about this, it was almost the same from front to back as, like, there were some ads and stuff, but you see all this kind of complex just mumbo jumbo right here. This was just about like, it was basically a good thing for posting like the prices. So you could price Magic cards, you could price your Pokemon cards. So it had the pricing of what they were worth at the time, but also it showed, I guess, just like what each of the cards did. So, you know, if you were wondering, like, man, I don't have a Wigglytuff card, what does it do? Well, here's Wigglytuff right here. And so you could actually see its statistics and what energy it costs and all of that. So it was kind of like a way for you to know what the cards were before you got them, I guess you could say. So we'll end off with this right here. This will be the last one I'll show you, but there's some kind of just interesting, like, nostalgic things in here that we can look at. One thing I should show you actually is do the quiz right now. I don't know how many of you are still here. I feel like people left because I'm only seeing like 3 viewers. I completely scared everybody away with all this stuff. But I was going to say we should have a little competition, and whoever answers this correctly would get some stream gold the fastest. I mean, we could still do that, I guess, but there's only like 2 people here that probably know what this is. But if you can figure out all of those pieces, what's the head, the body, the arms, the hands, and the legs and tail, if you fill in those blanks right now, then I'll give you stream gold. Again, I think Adasic, you might be the only one with the expertise right now to do this. If Demon's Play is still here, he could probably do it too. But whoever gets to that first, I'll give some stream gold too. Adasic doesn't need any more stream gold probably either. He's a rich mofo. So whoever types them all out, not just one of them, but whoever does them all will win some stream gold. Looks like Demon's Play is going for it. He's going with the head of Kabutops, a body of Mewtwo. But yeah, so that was one thing. I'll show you. I'll make this a little bit smaller and leave it up there for you guys. There we go. Boom. Oh man, he doesn't know the arms. This will be interesting. Adasic says hands, Haunter, head, Kabutops, legs and tail, Dragonite. Yes, Adasic got it. So Adasic is the winner. The arms were, in fact, Pinsir on that one. So Adasic will, you can get some stream gold. But that was the monster mix-up that they had, and they had answers for it. But anyway, so again, this magazine it's an unofficial thing. It's not an official Nintendo like product or whatever. Yeah, Adasic has too much gold. I mean, what? So here I could show you guys some of this stuff, but to me this is amazing just because like we're getting kind of a look at all of this like old 90s, maybe early 2000s stuff right here. And so Poke Nation was supposed to be some website. Registration is free and easy. I don't know what this is all about. I guess it's just like trading cards and buying and selling with people, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Blockbuster is crawling with mice. It's just a Stuart Little ad, but so here they have some interesting Pokemon, like, what's the word, merchandise and stuff, you know, just things that I didn't even remember to some degree. So let's see. Okay, this was one that I wanted to show you. Look at this kid. So God forbid this kid grows up and sees this or whatever. He was 16 when he was interviewed or whatever, but his name is Glenn Katzen from New York. And they asked him a bunch of questions just to kind of interview their readers or whatever. And so it says, like, you know, what do you like best about the Pokemon trading card game? And, like, I haven't read through all of his answers, but it just seems like, you know, it says, who's your toughest competition? Probably my friend Josh, and let me put his, they're like, let me put his last name on here, who's currently ranked 20th in the world, you know, and all that, so. Yeah, Adasic is like, the arms were definitely the hardest part. Also, be right back. Gotta snag some water. Cool, man, cool. But, yeah, they put the top 10 cards in here for, I don't know if this was supposed to be all time or what. It doesn't seem like those are the top 10 cards. You would think, like, a Charizard would be in there. So it must have been, like, the top 10 cards for the month or something. But this was another thing I was looking at that was kind of interesting is, I do remember this Pikachu calculator. One of my friends had it. I actually never owned this thing, but this is something that I kind of want just to have for the old nostalgia of it. But the Pikachu calculator. Look at that, eh? Some nice ballpoint pens. If anybody gets me any of this stuff, I will love you forever. This is amazing stuff. Here's a little sippy, like, bottle, Meowth with the sippy straw right there, bendy straw. So yeah, this kind of stuff, you know. I don't know what this is. Something about iguanas. The Poke Shop. This is interesting. So this is a Pokemon World CD that costs $14, so $14.99 actually, so like 15, 16 bucks. Windows 95 or higher, or Mac OS 8 or higher to give you. Yeah, gets Dr. Kendo a Pikachu calculator? Well, Demons Player, I would love you forever. So, but yeah, this is just supposed to be like music and video, like screensavers and stuff for Pokemon World. Yeah, it's like, love me now. Yeah, Windows 95, man, Windows 95. Here's some hair twisties, some scrunchies or whatever for your hair that are Mewtwo and Charmander. But this is, again, here's another one of those things. It's like, should I register for this and then send it back to them? Like, what would happen, you know, if I registered for this now? Send entries to Game Expo. You know, like, this is all stuff from back in the 90s, 2000s. So, like, what's going to happen if I send it to them now? But this is the greatest Pokemon party ever, apparently. One of the Pokemon Pikachu cars is there. CK coming in with the 5 biddies. Thank you so much to Crimson Knight. Dude, I appreciate it. Doing damage to that Bit Boss in a sneaky way. So win thousands of Pokemon cards. Look at all this stuff. All delivered to your house in the Volkswagen Beetle. Good stuff, good stuff. So here's just like something about Pokemon Stadium. And here's possibly one of the worst like ads in the world. It's like, this is all it looks like. There's just a whole bunch of white spaces and it's just like PokemonStore.com. Ash is saying, wow, I've never seen so many Pokemon in one place. And Misty's like, hey Ash, if they don't have the card you're looking for at this place, you'd better wonder whether it really exists. And so yeah, it's just Pokestore.com. And then they just scratch out web and put planet. I'd rather win the Pikachu Volkswagen. Adisic, that would be amazing. You dare me, Dr. Kendo? What do you mean, demons? But let's see here. So, other than that, I don't know if there's anything super pressing. Oh, this would be cool. If someone got me this, this would be amazing. It's like Pokemon Marbles, if anybody recalls this. I have a faint memory of this. I don't think I ever had friends who had it or anything, but I had heard about these. But Pokemon Marbles, and then like there's a shooter. So this thing apparently shoots them out. Oh, okay, you dare me to send that old card thing in? I thought you meant dare me to love you. Because you were like, love me, and I was like, is that what he dares me to do? But yeah, here's some more. This is like, the cards are in Japanese, you know, before they came out right here for like Gen 2 and stuff like that. But then they translated it in this magazine to English right here. So you could actually see, you know, before the Japanese cards had been converted over to English, we could actually see what they were right here. You had a ton of those way back in the day, but not the shooter? Gotcha, gotcha. So yeah, here's another look at those Gen 2ers. I don't know that anything else is in here worthy of note. Some people talking about their deck that they custom created and what's in it and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's gonna do it. So again, we're gonna, oh yeah, here's this. So this, I remember looking at this last night. So this is a drawing of Weezing, but to me, there's not even a second head on there right now. It's like, they couldn't, you know, this is obviously some kind of like probably 5-year-old girl or something like that. Hey, what's going on? IARC YouTube, what's going on, dude? Okwa Tanjinwan, my brother. You missed everything, unfortunately, because we're about to end this section of the stream, but I was just saying, you know, they couldn't like tell this little 5 or 6-year-old girl like, your drawing disgusts me, you know, like this is terrible because it's a Weezing, but it like looks like coughing, but it doesn't even look like that, you know. It's like, yeah, there's no other head. Exactly. When Adisic is like, when you said drawing of Weezing, it's funny, my first thought is there's no other head, and so that's exactly it, because somebody's saying down here, congratulations to Hannah, her Weezing work of art was our drawing contest winner. It's like, did seriously nobody submit to this contest, or did they want a little girl to win who's like 5 years old? Anyway, there's our little monster challenge before. There's confirmation, so you know that I'm not lying, of what the winning pieces were. But yeah, IARC, I'm glad you could stop in too. There's the box down there, as you guys can see. Got a whole bunch of stuff that we reviewed. There still is even some of it missing. As I told you guys, you know, I was like, I can't find my talking Charmander, not chalking. Can't find my talking Charmander and stuff, but so there's a few things that were missing from it, and I'm hoping to just show those individually on stream for like 5 seconds one day.